no reports of significant injury or any loss of life. We also have reports now in from every one of our evacuation centres, and none of them have sustained any structural damage. So that means all of the people in them are safe and sound this morning. And as I said, early reports, but very, very encouraging reports.
Yeah. Premier, the storm surge that was feared, did that eventuate to the extent that people expected?
No, we're very lucky. All of the early reports indicate the storm surge was not as high as anticipated, and largely that was because the cyclone hit a little later than expected and was coming on a falling tide, not a rising tide. Given the ferocity of some of these winds, it's a great relief, and frankly in some places it's quite extraordinary. But we're very happy about that. In terms of essential services, the electricity transmission network is out of service south of Innisfail. So we've got extensive loss of power, about 175,000 homes without electricity. And it's not clear yet whether that transmission break is because of a tower down. If that's the case, it'll take some time to get it operational again. The telecommunications network has suffered some serious losses. Telstra is reporting 20 of its mobile substations, particularly around that Innisfail, Cardwell area that's taken the full brunt, have been taken out by the cyclone. A further 420 substations are without power. They're currently operating on generator power, but that will only last about 6 to 8 hours. So we could see very, very extensive and widespread difficulties with the mobile phone and telecommunications network, depending on what the cause of that electricity network service problem is. So the essential services still, not looking, well, still having obviously big difficulties. Far too early yet to know whether we've had any effect on water or water treatment plants or sewage treatment plants. We'll know that much later this morning when council workers have had a chance to safely get out and have a look around. But it seems that it's those communities in the brunt that took the brunt, like Mission Beach, Tully, Tully Heads, Innisfail, and all of those areas, Cardwell, that we anticipated would take that full force. We've had fire and rescue assessors out in Tully this morning, for example, and they're saying that the main street and CBD of Tully, in their assessment, has incurred 90% of it has incurred what they would call extensive damage. So as we see sunlight come into more of these towns and we get our assessors out, I think we're going to see some devastating scenes of damage to property, damage to crops, damage to public infrastructure. But as I said, I'm certainly so relieved this morning that the 10,500 people in evacuation centres last night are safe and sound.